Well, it's that time of the year. So with everybody putting out their fall list, I figured I'd talk about the 10 designers that I plan on reaching for the most. Some of these you may be expecting, some of these you may not. Some are returning favorites of mine from last year. Some are pretty new to the collection. So let's go ahead and talk about them. Stay tuned. So with this first one, this is one that absolutely gets no love. Now, performance isn't what I was expecting when I first got it. It's only about 6 hours on my skin, which not the end of the world, but for what you're going to pay for this one for a luxury designer, you kind of expect 7 to 8 hours, but the scent is gorgeous. If you like a green herbal spicy fragrance, pretty hard to beat. Dior Homme Sauvage Extreme Eau de Toilette Intense. There you go. Not one that many people talk about. That's for sure. It takes the citrus of Eau Sauvage, dials it back a little bit, and takes the green herbaceous notes, amps them up. This is a fougere lover's, I'm not going to say dream, but hidden guilty pleasure, we'll say. It's going to be a fougere lover's guilty pleasure. Like I said, not the strongest performer in the line. Obviously, the Parfum is, which I do absolutely love the Parfum. But if you're looking for a very, very green, and you know, I really dig my spicy fragrances, especially in the fall months. That's when I really pull out the spicy fragrances a lot more. Obviously in the winter as well, but really in the fall is when they're kicking for me. And something like this is right up my alley for fall time. It screams autumn weather, where it's starting to cool down. You're starting to be able to wear, you know, thin long sleeve hoodies, stuff like this, at least where I'm at, where it's not real cold yet. Not that it ever really gets that cold for that long in Houston, but this is definitely going to work great for a work setting, dressing up a little bit, evenings, good daily driver stuff if you're into this sort of thing. And that's from Dior. It's Eau Sauvage Extreme, the Eau de Toilette Intense. At the number 9 spot, this is absolutely a newcomer to the collection. It was actually my scent of the day today, and I refreshed just to do it to strengthen up my sillage at about the 6-7 hour mark, because it was still going. I didn't really need to, I just wanted to. It's the newest release from Dolce Gabbana. It's K, the Eau de Parfum. Now, I do have to say, this smells just like a richer, deeper version of the Eau de Toilette. I can't see how you can like this one and not really like the Eau de Toilette. That's just my opinion. But it's definitely a lot denser, a lot fuller, and a lot richer. You have to like juniper. Obviously, this is a fragrance that's dominated by juniper berry, at least to my nose, as was the Eau de Toilette. This one just performs better, and like I said, it's richer. It's better for the fall. I think it's a great release. I thought the Eau de Toilette was a great release, to be completely honest with you. This just steps it up. This is even better than the Eau de Toilette. Some people are digging it. Some people not so much. I'm definitely one of those that's digging it, and I will be reaching for it a bit more. It's going to be one of the designers that really strikes my interest this fall, and it's Dolce Gabbana K, the new Eau de Parfum. At the number 8 spot is a familiar fragrance to the channel, and this is the time of year when I like to pull it out. It's from Giorgio Armani, Acqua di Gio Profumo. It's a great fragrance. Great for work, casual days. You can dress it up, dress it down. Pretty much do everything. If you're a fan of the original's DNA, but you want a matured, kind of patchouli and incense heavy version of it, the Parfum Profumo version is going to be the one for you. This is the Acqua di Gio of choice for me for spring and for fall, and obviously for winter, because I don't really see any of the other ones being really something you reach for in the wintertime. I know I don't reach for any of the other ones in the line in the wintertime, but when I'm in the mood for the DNA, this is definitely the way to go in my opinion. This is the one I reach for. Up until I got Absolute, this was my favorite of the line. Absolute's kind of starting to take the crown from it, kind of making a 1A and 1B type of thing. But in the summer, I don't really reach for this one because the rest of the line is fantastic for the spring and summer. But come fall, it's all about Acqua di Gio Profumo when it comes to the line. One I'm definitely going to be reaching for. And when I say reaching for, obviously it's not a weekly reach for me, but when I'm in the mood for this DNA, this will be the one. Once again, it's Acqua di Gio Profumo. Moving into number 7 is the newest release in the Polo Red line. Usually I would go with the Intense in this situation, but it's just a little bit stronger than this one. I feel like this bumps the Intense to the wintertime for me, which I like to wear that in the wintertime anyway. This is Polo Red, the Eau de Parfum. This is the year of the Eau de Parfum releases for a lot of your favorite lines. That's kind of been the way they've been going with everything. And I gotta tell you, this is definitely deep. It's rich. The ginger in it's very good. Some orange, citrus up top. Still has that cranberry, you know, scent DNA that Polo Red's known for. It's a great smell. It didn't wow me upon first impression, but after I spent a little time with it, it grew on me more and more as the hours passed. Every time I've worn it. Compliment factor, as I found out, was very high on it, or is very high on it. That kind of surprised, well, not really surprised me, but kind of took me back a little bit because I wasn't expecting immediate feedback right away as soon as one person smelled me. And then the next person smelled me, and so on. And it's just, could be an underwhelming release to some, but if you give it a chance, or you don't have, you know, a bunch of other ones in the Polo Red line already, this is a great one to go with. If you don't have the Intense, you don't have the Extreme and stuff like that, get your hands on the EDP. It's actually a solid release from the year, and one that I plan on reaching for more and more. Number 7 spot is Polo Red, EDP. When it comes to the fragrance at number 6, this is going to be when I'm in the mood for something real boozy and real woody. Because this is kind of going to be bumping out my reach for Bentley for Men. Now, it doesn't smell just like Bentley for Men. That's a much spicier fragrance. Bentley for Men Intense is obviously a much more leather and smoky boozy fragrance. You know, this is just boozy and woody. It smells of a little bit higher quality. I think it's one of the best designer releases so far in 2020. It's from Cartier. It's Pasha de Cartier Parfum. This is a lovely, lovely fragrance. I actually did a quick full review while I was at work the other day. I'll put that video right there if you want to check it out. It's like a little over 4 minutes, probably one of the shorter videos on my channel. Oh man, this is a stunner. Very masculine, a bit on the mature side. I can't see too many young bucks really enjoying this, but then again, there's 20-year-olds that would love this fragrance. I strongly urge sampling this one for you younger gentlemen. Guys over 30, if you like that style of fragrance, boozy and woody, you'll like this. This is rich, this is full. Compliment factor is very high. I got a coworker, that same coworker I speak about from time to time, that every day he checks what you got and he sprays it on his arm and just wants to check out whatever I'm wearing every day. Fell in love with this one just like he did with Kajal Sauvage. Bought a bottle that day from the same person on eBay that I bought it from. They still had several bottles. This is the way to go. You can get, they're showing up at discounters, they're at reliable sellers on eBay. This is a stunner for the fall season, and one that I urge people, get your nose on, try this one. You're going to end up wanting a bottle most likely, because like I said, in my opinion, it's one of the best designer releases of 2020, and that's Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Now moving into the number 5 spot, this is the time of year when I like to pull this one out. So during the spring, I like to pull out Invictus. During the summer, I like to pull out Invictus Aqua. During the fall, it's Invictus Legend. The bluest of the line, in my opinion. Amber, basil. The basil really adds a green herbaceousness. The basil is in the other ones, but it's really heightened in Legend. Oh man, the salt in it, it's just, you smell the original, but I feel like this is the most independent fragrance in the line. Whereas it doesn't smell exactly like, and none of them smell exactly, well, Invictus Intense pretty much smells exactly like Invictus, just a little bit sweeter because of that whiskey accord. But Invictus Aqua, you can smell Invictus in it. And don't get me wrong, you can smell Invictus in Invictus Legend because it's part of the line. But this kind of does its own thing. Like I said, with the amber, the salt, and the bay leaf, it's really changes the game for this fragrance. I can see not everybody liking this one because it's a bit strong in the opening, but on my skin, it's a powerhouse. It's all day. It's a heavy beast mode projector off of my skin. This is the strongest Invictus off of my skin. Stronger than the original, and the original is a powerhouse that fills a room on my skin. This one fills the room off of my skin as well. I love this one. This is the time of year for me to pull it out. Invictus Legend, underappreciated in the fragrance world in my opinion, and I'm super happy to have a bottle, and I will be reaching for this fall. That's Invictus Legend. Moving into number 4. Now when it's time for dinners, going out to eat, things like that, this is going to be the main designer fragrance that I'm reaching for. Some of you know exactly where I'm going with this because it's been my go-to for a little while now, pretty much since I got it. When we go to dinner, from Yves Saint Laurent, La Nuit de l'Homme, Le Parfum. I did get the EDP from 2019, and it is beautiful, and I am going to give that some wear as well. But this is going to be the one I reach for the most. The lavender, the pepper, with the fruits and the labdanum, the way this is mixed, it just smells like a matured version of La Nuit de l'Homme. That's the way I like to describe this fragrance because that's how I see it, that's how I smell it. This is, if La Nuit de l'Homme's for the teenagers and the 20-some-odd-year-olds, La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum is for the 30-year-olds and above. I mean, 25 plus, we'll say. It's matured. Is it smell old manish? No, not at all. It takes La Nuit de l'Homme and just, like I said, smooths and rounds off the edges, if you will. It's not quite as sweet. It's not quite as loud. Does the job for what I'm looking to do with it anyways. For dinners this fall, I'll be reaching for La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum. Moving into the number 3 spot, this was actually bumped from number 1. This was last year's number 1 on my designer list. Still a favorite of mine. I do plan on wearing it. Not regularly, but more than the others before it because I just love this one. Like I said, it was my number 1 in last year's fall designer list. It's from another Paco Rabanne fragrance, this time from the 1 Million line. 1 Million Privé. A lot of you may have been thinking Lucky right here, but nope. Man, this is one of my favorite fragrances for fall. The cinnamon, the tobacco. It's the least sweet 1 Million with some tobacco. I just love the way this one smells. This is a fantastic fragrance. Lasts 8+ hours on my skin. Doesn't project too heavy, but definitely does not sit too close to the skin. This is a really, really good fragrance. That's all that really needs to be said about it. This is a really good designer fragrance. I feel like everybody needs to try this one. This one can go all ages. It's a good way to dip your toe into tobacco fragrances. It's not overly sweet. It checks a lot of boxes. It performs well. It's not super expensive, but it's not a cheapie either. It's kind of in that sweet spot for a designer from discounters. Really good fragrance. Like I said, it was my number 1 last year. This year bumped down to number 3. Definitely going to be reaching for 1 Million Privé from Paco Rabanne. At the number 2 spot, I am so ready to start busting this fragrance out. It's my favorite for spring and fall from this line. Winter, when I show you what this is, you already know what my favorite in the line for winter is. It's the Parfum. But for spring and definitely for fall, I love me some Dior Homme. I can't wait to start spraying this one. This one can be a little bit much when it's super hot outside. That's when I like to wear Dior Homme O or wear some stuff from the Sport line or Cologne or any of that stuff, the lighter stuff, you know, the fresher citrus heavy stuff. But man, this is one fragrance that is super hard to beat. God, that smells so good. You know, I know there's a lot of fans of the remake for 2020. That ain't for me. I got a little 10 milliliter dabber bottle official from, you know, it's a cool looking little mini bottle from Dior. Did a review on it, didn't wow me. The opening's fine, I don't care for the dry down. It's just not for me. But this absolutely is. Love Dior Homme. When they announced the 2020, I bought a 5-ounce bottle of this. I bought a 5-ounce bottle of O. I bought a 5-ounce bottle of Intense. And I bought 5 ounces of the Parfum because I'd been putting off getting this line. And when they announced some changes and discontinuations and all this other stuff, so, I jumped on FragranceNet, and obviously with the Parfum, I didn't get it from FragranceNet, and I bought the biggest bottles. I got 5 ounces of everything. And with the size of my collection, that'll last me the rest of my life. Super, super happy to have this. Love it, love it. Cannot wait to start abusing the sprayer on this one this fall. Expect to see this in a lot of weekly rotations this year. At the number 2 spot, Dior Homme. And at the number 1 spot, this is the fragrance that got me the most excited upon announcement, upon release, upon first smell. I love this fragrance. That's why it's number 1 this year. I think it's a great release. Performance is fantastic on this fragrance from a projection standpoint and a longevity standpoint. The way they took the note breakdown from the original Eau de Toilette and just twisted and molded it and added nutty notes and pistachio to Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. My God, this is such a good fragrance. I mean, it is. For those of you that don't care for it, you're right to your opinion. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But me, I love this fragrance. This is such a good release. I even wore it in the summer because I couldn't wait to wear it once I got it. You can wear it year round if you want. I sprayed it too heavy too. I think I sprayed like 6 or 7 sprays. That's a lot for this fragrance, especially in 100+ degree Houston heat. But I did it anyway, and I got some compliments too. I was projecting like crazy. This is one of the better releases of 2020. I liked the Eau de Toilette. I do. I still like the Eau de Toilette. It's right behind Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Right where his tail's at is where Spice Bomb Night Vision, the Eau de Toilette bottle, is. A lot of people were skeptical about it. Got some hate. I think it's a good mass appealing fragrance. Did it fit the line? No, but it was a twist. This is improved upon. I can't see people knocking this one like crazy because this is a great fragrance. Definitely had to be at the number 1 spot for me in my list. I will be reaching for this one the most out of all the fragrances that you just saw in the video. Number 1, fall designer list this year, Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. Well guys, that's my designer list for 2020 for the fall season. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. I'm sure there's a few of these you saw coming. Some probably surprised you. I don't know if number 1 surprised you or not, but I'm excited to wear these. I really am. Be on the lookout. I know a lot of you are anticipating my cheapie list. I've had several people ask me if I was doing a cheapie list for fall. Of course, you know, that's where a lot of you are here for. Y'all want the cheapie lists. I get that. And I definitely have what I believe is a really good one for you for fall this year. So stay tuned. That'll be coming up in another week or so, maybe 10 days. It all depends. I'm going to let this one run for a little bit before. I don't want to just flood it with fall lists, you know. Niche list will come later, but definitely be on the lookout. For those of you that tuned in to watch this one and watch it all the way through, I greatly appreciate you. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 10 fragrances discussed here today, you give them a spray now, oh yeah, I'm real confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.